Hello, everybody, and welcome back to a brand new episode of the NASCAR Heat 5 Career Mode. Hope you're all having a great day. Today, we have some racing here at the Coca-Cola 600 at Charlotte Motor Speedway. The only race coming your way today, actually, here as we come through into the qualifying session. Jumping right into the action here today as we got underway with a goal of a 29.746 here in our qualifying lap. And it was a decent qualifying lap. I definitely left some time on the table. You can see that right off the bat, turns 1 and 2. But we crossed the line with the 29.907 here and qualified P20 for the Coca-Cola 600. So not a bad qualifying effort, but not a great one. Right in the middle here as we're going to check out the rest of the qualifying order there. As you see, very at the back of the grid, we got Tony Bradinger, Alex Spellman in P31 as we look up towards the top half of the grid. You're going to have William Byron there in P16. Rounding out the top 10 is Joey Logano. But up at the front of the grid on the pole, it's Chris Buescher. Welcome to Charlotte Motor Speedway, opened back in 1960 here as we're ready to get going for one of the most prestigious races in the NASCAR Cup Series, the Coca-Cola 600, a capacity of between 94,000 to 171,000 depending on the configuration of this racetrack here as we get ready to go green from Charlotte for the Coca-Cola 600.
Gotta love the Coke 600. Salute the troops and get us a checkered flag here, Gary.
I'll give it everything I got, but no promises today. There you hear myself as well as our crew chief of Latian on the radio. I am going to be continuing myself in Lation's radio thing over into NASCAR 21 ignition for the career mode there. I'm working on a lot of behind the scenes stuff for that career mode, so very excited to bring that career mode, of course, to you guys when the game comes out. Like I said, very excited. It's going to be a lot more brought back compared to NASCAR Heat 5. I'm not going to be cranking it out daily. It's more going to be maybe like a every couple day kind of thing, I think. Of course, when it first comes out, it will be every day, but we're ready to get going here for the Coca-Cola 600 from Charlotte Motor Speedway as the green flag is out and we are underway from the 20th starting position, row number 10 on the outside alongside the number 19 of Harrison Burton here as we go down towards turns 1. Immediately you got to look at a driver, in my opinion, like Lewis Hamilton, been very strong at these types of tracks this season, so I would definitely be looking at him to be the potential first candidate to win this race here as we go down this backstretch. You see a big change there in the lighting. Unfortunately, nothing we can do about that with the replay system switching back to the gameplay and whatnot, but we're right in behind our Rush LeBron Racing teammate of Christopher Bell here as we settle in, not trying to get too aggressive on him now as he's our teammate. We're not trying to put him in a spot that he doesn't want to be in. Chase Elliott out in front through turns 1 and 2, already looking very strong in that Napa Auto Parts Chevrolet Camaro for the McLaren Racing team, as he's already opened up a nice gap over second place, which currently belongs to Derek Krause here as they're right to the back of the 17 down this back straightaway. And as we came through down the front straightaway at the end of lap 2, actually took a 3 wide around the outside here of the 17 and the 2 of Ryan Preece. 2 wins on the season currently for Ryan Preece there from Penske Racing. He's having a way better season than he ever did last season now as we were continuing to move our way forwards. We have gotten our car now to where we're consistently running inside the top 10 and as well on the odd occasion challenging for race wins. So within the next couple episodes, we are going to be hitting the peak performance with this team, and hopefully we can get a win now as we came through to lap 6 up inside the top 15 alongside the Richard Childress Racing driver of Austin Dillon, and we just continue moving forward. We would get clear of Austin Dillon coming to lap 7, and then we would of course run down our rival of Joey Logano, and I made a move to his outside. I knew he was going to do exactly this right there, run into the side of us, but I wasn't really going to take it. I was just going to keep commitment here on the outside into turn 3 and just try to get clear of him down the front straightaway, and fortunately we're going to get the momentum on the exit of the corner, and sure enough we clear Joey Logano with really no issues whatsoever. Then we go to the outside of the number 66 of Sam Mayer down this front straightaway coming to lap 9, already closing in on the halfway point of stage 1, and eventually as we came to the lap 10 down the front straightaway we would clear him. There we were side by side with him and Preece, and now Ryan Preece down into turns 1 is actually going to be able to get past us as we drop back down to the 13th position.
Forecast is saying it might rain soon.
There you hear Latian saying that there might be rain on the way here in Charlotte now as I start to pick up the aggression a little bit here, just trying to get whatever spots we can before the end of this first and opening stage. Now obviously a rain delay at the end of stage 1 really wouldn't change anything because a race is not official until you are at least halfway through, so it wouldn't really cause anything other than of course a delay in time, and it would probably be dark by the time we got back going here as we were continuing up inside of the top 10 just about alongside the number 25 Gordon Gordon Hendrick Motorsports driver of Ryan Blaney, as we get clear of him, give a big push to Kyle Busch down this back straightaway into turn 3. Chase Elliott still out in front here as we came through the final 9 laps of stage 1, and we just continue to move our way forwards. We were in this bit of a scrap here with Kyle Busch, and I couldn't quite clear Kyle, and I kept making mistakes hitting the apron and whatnot. And on the exit of turns 4 on lap 16, here comes Blaney at my inside, and now we're 3 wide in the middle here down the front straightaway. So this pass on Kyle Busch was a lot trickier than it ever needed to be, to say the least here. So it was a bit frustrating trying to pass him, because now here we go, moving through the order, now dropping down the order here as we lose the spot to the 7 of Jones, we lose the spot to the 19 of Burton, and then 2 of Priest as well, trying to come through on the inside. I would drop all the way down to 14th place, even behind my teammate Christopher Bell, because I really started to struggle with grip, as well as Lewis Hamilton has now taken the lead. We got some pit stops happening, so I decided, you know what, I'm going to pit as well as actually run into the back of the 7 of Eric Jones there. You saw the 19 of Burton as well got into the back of Jones, but we had to repair the car because I actually picked up 3 seconds of damage, and you can see just how much time we gave up because of that. So we now had quite a bit of work to do to try and get ourselves back up towards the top 10 here, as now it was looking like stage points wasn't going to happen. And sure enough, as we came through to the final couple laps of stage 1, we were down in P15. That's where we ended up cycling out, as Chase Elliott was leading the way on the final lap of stage 1 here, down into turn 3. He goes already, as we're just now into turns 1. So no stage points here for us, unfortunately, but we know we have a car capable of running inside the top 10. It's just about staying out of trouble, obviously, here now, as Elliott comes through to win the first and opening stage here in the Coca-Cola 600, a 4-stage race. Do keep that in mind. It is not 3 stages. We got 4 stages, about 20 or so laps each year tonight, as they're all split up evenly now as we come through down the front straightaway to cross the line for 15th place here in stage 1. So the car overall felt pretty good. It got pretty free towards the end of the run, so I didn't know if I wanted to try and go against that and adjust the car, or if maybe I just could deal with it, because I felt like I could control it pretty well. But I decided we're just going to kind of keep the same thing going here. We come in for 4 tires as well as 2 cans of fuel there. As you see, we got 4 drivers a lap down: Timmy Hill, Haley Deegan, Daniel Hemrick, as well as Austin Cindric, as Chase Elliott wins stage 1. Well, we're back here from Charlotte Motor Speedway, but the rain has fallen, making the track wet, and we would end up having a rain delay, unfortunately. So we would have to wait it out a few extra hours while the cell moved through, while the track drying, of course, had to go on, and eventually we would be back, but now under the lights here from Charlotte Motor Speedway here as the sun has set. But now getting ready to go for the start of stage 2 from P14. We gain 1 spot on the pit lane here now, as we're going to be underway for the start of stage 2. And now for the start of stage 2, it is time to get amped in Charlotte. Back from the AMP segment here from the Charlotte Motor Speedway in the Coca-Cola 600. Up front, you have a battle between Todd Gilliland as well as the number 9 of Chase Elliott. Elliott looking very, very strong. Hamilton, as I said at the beginning of the episode, was probably going to be strong. He is definitely strong, but he doesn't appear to have a race-winning car here tonight. It really looks like Chase Elliott, or right now maybe Todd Gilliland, are going to be the biggest competitors now, as a caution actually came out. The 7 had a big checkup because the 99 of Ross Chastain had actually blew an engine, so everybody is going to stay out right here. We're going to get ready to go back green. As you see, Austin Cindric and Hailie Deegan are now the only two drivers a lap down, but Cindric is of course going to get the lucky dog, so it will just be Hailie Deegan now a lap down, and Chastain is out of this race as we are now up into 12th place. So we've gained a few spots here in these opening laps now as we're going to get back underway now, as just as I expected, the car did not take off whatsoever, and that was simply because we had absolutely drilled the back of the 7 car when that caution had come out. So I knew this was probably going to happen. That's why you saw me immediately pull to the right and try to get out of the way. Unfortunately, all that progress that we've worked on gaining tonight, both times, and so far found ourselves actually back here towards the 20s again. So we've got a lot of work to do now for the rest of the second stage. Of course, at the end of stage 1, it was all about working our way back after a poor pit stop, having to fix some damage. Now it's about having to work our way back towards the top 10 after having a terrible restart. So we've had 2 setbacks in 2 stages. We got time though. Still 14 laps remain in this second stage, so plenty of time to hopefully get up at least in the top 15, maybe even in that top 10 now, as we went up the inside of Joey Logano, slammed into the side of him a little bit now, and up the inside of Sam Mayer here as we went down this front straightaway. And sure enough, we would find our way up towards that top 15 once again now, but definitely not going to settle for a 15th place finish here today in Charlotte now, when we know we have a car that's easily capable of running in the top 10 on a consistent weekly basis. Chase Elliott still found himself out in front. He's still looking for his first win on the season. He does lead the regular season standings, so it's not like because he doesn't have a win, he hasn't been struggling. Elliott has been putting up incredible numbers this season for the McLaren team. He just hasn't been able to find victory lane, but I feel like this is a really good opportunity for him to win here tonight now. Charlotte, it's usually a pretty calm track, not a lot of chaos, so I could very well see him picking up the win as a caution actually comes out once again here. This time everybody would end up coming into the pit lane, so I made a little bit of an adjustment there. I actually added some grill tape to the car, and then we would get back ready to go green here from P11. Derek Kraus lost 7 positions there in that 2311 Racing Toyota Camry there, so very unfortunate for him because obviously everybody took 4 tires, so they just had that bad of a pit stop there, maybe struggling to get the wheel on or something, or off. Either way now, as we are back underway here in the closing laps of the second stage here in the Coca-Cola 600 now, as we try to re-enter the top 10. Chris Buescher not really standing out as one of the top competitors here for the first time in a while this season in Charlotte tonight now, as we would try to stick with our teammate of Christopher Bell now as we came through to the exit of turns 4 on lap 18, still side by side with the 84 of Chris Buescher. We also had a lead change. Todd Gilliland went to the lead. Lewis Hamilton went to second. Chase Elliott dropped to 3rd place. So Elliott kind of fading in the closing laps. Potentially, it's hard to tell because he was already putting the fight right back to the inside of Lewis Hamilton now, as Buescher was able to get clear of me. And then I would get aggressive here. I make it 3 wide down the front straightaway with Buescher, with our teammate Abel. And actually, Buescher pulls out. He says, you know what? I don't want any part of that. And we are up into 7th place here. So we are moving through the field in these closing laps of stage 2. Hands down, the adjustment with the grill tape definitely helping now, as we would also get up the inside of the Gordon Hendrick Motorsports driver of Kyle Larson in that number 5 Brandt Chevrolet Camaro, and we would be able to just about get past him, and we actually clear him through turns 4 as Hamilton out in front now over Todd Gilliland as well as Chase Elliott. Coming through though to the final lap of stage 2, now still running P6, but Hamilton was now under attack from Chase Elliott through turns 1 and 2, and Hamilton was looking at another playoff point, but now it's looking in favor of Chase Elliott as we try to run down Bubba Wallace in the 5th position down this back straightaway for the final time in this second stage. Now Elliott cleared through turns 3 and 4 over Lewis Hamilton as well as the number 38 of Gilliland, but the caution comes out and stage 2 a few moments early. Elliott was going to win the stage anyway, so Elliott sweeps stage 1 as well as stage 2, but do keep in mind it's not coming up to the final stage. We still have a stage 3 and a stage 4 here before this race is complete. So everybody of course coming into the pit lane here for 2 cans of fuel, 4 fresh tires now, as it looks like Eric Jones brought out the caution at the end of stage 2. Ready to go here for the start of stage 3 of 4 here in the Coca-Cola 600 from Charlotte. Now on the outside of row number 3, Chase Elliott has swept the first 2 stages as we are back underway now, as he leads away alongside the 7-time Formula 1 world champion of Lewis Hamilton. Bubba Wallace on our inside down into turns 1. Derek Kraus, Bubba Wallace's teammate, just behind myself there, as you see the Red Bulls, both Red Bulls really having a bit of a rough night here in Charlotte now, and Christian Eckes especially. We really haven't seen him whatsoever. He's been way off in that number 83 Red Bull Toyota. So not sure what's quite going on there. Eckes as well, still looking for his first win on the season. The defending champion has gotten to about the halfway point of the season without a victory, and it's so hard to believe that we're already closing in towards the regular season finale. I didn't realize how close we are to that regular season finale, so less than 10 races away at this point. So we are getting close to crunch time. Obviously, we are comfortably above the cut line now by about 100 points or so, so there's a very good chance we will make the playoffs even without a race victory, but I still would like to get a race victory before we get into the playoffs. I don't believe we've ever gone a whole regular season without a race win, so it'll be interesting to see if that happens again. There's this other 45 of Derek Kraus sideways right there, as I actually gave him a bit of a push there down the back straightaway into turn 3, but we continue being aggressive here now. 3 wide up the inside there of the 16 of Kaz Gralla, as well as we would try to get up the inside of our teammate of Christopher Bell. Couldn't quite pull it off right there, but we did get clear of the number 19 of Harrison Burton. So just kind of settling in, and then we make that move here up the inside of Bell as soon as that opportunity opened up and down into turn 3. Sure enough, we would be able to pass him. So back up into P7 as we try to run down Kyle Larson for P6, and sure enough, by the time we come through to lap 9, Todd Gilliland out in front over Chase Elliott, who was right on his back bumper still. But now we got into this scrap right here with the number 5 of Kyle Larson. I really struggled clearing Kyle Larson. It doesn't help, but I'm making mistakes like that, clipping the apron and sliding up into the side of the 5 now as we make contact on the exit of turns 4. Side by side down the front straightaway. Then as we came through to lap 11, Larson still to my outside on the exit of turn 2. I said, you know what, we got to try and do what Kyle Larson would do. We're going to see if we can slide job him down into turn 3. So sure enough, I'm going to sail it off into turn 3, but I make a mistake and I hit the apron. We slide up the track. The slide job was complete for a second, and then I slammed the outside wall multiple times, and we lose so much progress there. That was 100% my stupidity right there, just hoping that I could clear that number 5 of Kyle Larson, and that was just so unnecessary. And now unfortunately we of course have to work our way back forward. So we were still fortunately up around the top 10 in these closing laps of stage 3, and you can see we would re-enter the top 10 after passing Harrison Burton, getting up the inside of the number 17 of Christopher Bell. A little bit of contact with him as I really used him up on the exit of turns 4, but sure enough we would get up into 9th place and try to run down Kaz Gralla once again, and sure enough that would happen as well. So now with 7 laps to go in stage 3, back up into 8th place as we come through turns 1. Couldn't quite complete the pass, so as the 16 is going to use that momentum and stay ahead. Then the caution comes out in the closing laps of stage 3, and that's going to force everybody into the pit lane here, including myself, for 4 tires, 2 cans of fuel again. And this time I decided we're going to make some tire pressure adjustments there on every single tire, as I just needed a little bit something extra if we were going to have a chance to do anything. We unfortunately lose 1 spot on the pit lane. We drop down into 10th place, so not where we want to be here. We've really had a lot of outside lane restarts here in tonight's race in Charlotte as we are back underway for the final 4 laps of stage 3, but then we still have that whole 4th and final stage to go. We got 3 cars out of this race so far, but it's time to get aggressive at this point here late in this race. Now a little bit over 20 laps to go just in general here on the race, so I'm going 3 wide between the 84 Red Bull of Chris Buescher, the 17 of Christopher Bell, and then I see a hole open on the inside and back out, and we get in behind that number 17 of Christopher Bell now as we come through turn 3, up the inside on the exit of turn 4 here of that 16 of Gralla. Now Todd Gilliland still out in front by the time we were coming to the final lap of stage 3 now as I'm up the inside of Christopher Bell here. Now white flag in the air in stage 3 here as we're going to duel it out for that 8th and 9th position. Todd Gilliland, another driver looking for his first career Cup Series win still for that front row Mercedes car. We got 2 Mercedes powered cars leading the grid right now down the back straightaway, with Hamilton being in 2nd place. Elliott has faded to 3rd. Definitely been the worst stage for him all race long. He just hasn't quite had that speed that he's had throughout the whole races. We're still side by side with the 17, but we have the advantage on the exit of turn 4. Gilliland comes through to win stage 3. We barely beat the number 17 of Christopher Bell to the line there, so we get P8 and 3 extra points now, leading us into the 4th and final stage of this race. Lewis Hamilton, a very strong effort so far from him, but 2nd place is not going to do anything for him. He needs to be trying to win stages, get some playoff points here to build up towards the end of this regular season there, as you see the rest of the finishing order as Todd Gilliland wins stage 3 in Charlotte. One stage to go here from the Coca-Cola 600 in Charlotte, ready to go green here for another 20 or so laps to scrap it out from. Unfortunately, the outside again on a restart. We just cannot get down to the bottom as the green flag is out. We're back underway. There'll be 23 laps to go for the beginning of stage number 4 alongside the number 5 of Kyle Larson. I feel like we've been looking at like the same exact group of cars this whole race. The 84, the 23, the 2, the 5, the number 17. It just gets so repetitive seeing these guys for nearly 100 laps now at this point. As we're 3 wide in the middle again, getting aggressive. I'm pretty confident at this point, if this was real life, Chris Buescher would have a very passionate hate towards me now. I mean, we sent him rolling multiple times at Pocono. We've taken him 3 wide on restarts twice tonight, and we've just had so many scraps with him recently now, which is surprising because our car usually isn't, a car you expect to be good enough to be scrapping it out with the Red Bulls. So we're doing a really good job at least putting the fight to that Red Bull Racing team on the odd occasion now. As you can see up front, Chase Elliott found himself back out in front now as we came through to lap 83 wide again with Bell and Buescher. Now that's not the first time we've been 3 wide with both of those drivers at the same time now as we go down into turns 1 here, and sure enough we are going to be able to get ahead of the 17, and then as we came through up the inside of Kyle Larson, we would move up into 7th place here behind Buescher. You can see that Buescher has a lot of pace in that car. He just hasn't been able to put enough of a fight to the top 4 drivers now, as that would follow Chris all the way up through the inside of Bubba Wallace down this back straightaway into turn 3 on lap 82. Elliott still leading the way, but he's got 2nd, 3rd, 4th right behind him there of Gilliland, Hamilton, as well as Ryan Preece. But Preece would actually start to fade off as we come through all the way to lap 90 now, and I realize at this point if I want to maybe do anything here to give myself a chance to win, which is still unlikely no matter what I do, we've got to try and short pit. So I decided we were going to come in on the end of lap 91, and I expected the AI to take 0 tires on their pit stop. So I decided, well, we're going to put right side tires on this car and see if we can use our fresh tire advantage to make up that time and then some, and hopefully get close to the front runners, and then of course still have fresher tires to run them down. Will it work the way we want? Well, I don't know. We're going to come through to lap 93, and you can see the pace difference. We were hauling the mail past our teammates of Tyler Reddick into turn 3, and we're running down quickly the number 18, the 48, the 25, as well as they were getting ready for their final pit stops of the night a few laps later. Lap 95, Chase Elliott, Todd Gilliland, Lewis Hamilton, all of those guys that had already come into the pit lane. I made a mistake and got into the outside wall, so that's not going to help us whatsoever now as we come through down the front straightaway. Unfortunately, drivers like Hamilton, Chase Elliott, they were already out of the pit lane and long ahead of me, so I knew that our chances at this point were non-existent, as I felt like I didn't gain any time barely whatsoever on the guys that at least we were trying to gain time on. So in P7 here in the closing laps now, as you got Kyle Larson currently leading, but of course he is going to have to come through and lose the lead there, as he sure enough loses the lead to Todd Gilliland, who leads the way with 2 laps to go, looking for his first ever NASCAR Cup Series win. Todd Gilliland leads the way into turn 3 and 4 for the final time before the final lap, that is, but the caution comes up with there's a crash down the back straightaway. It's Tony Bradinger as we just T-bone the side of her car, and here comes 84 piling in as well. Overtime in Charlotte, and we took a bit extra fuel, and now we can stay out, and so can Chris Buescher, and you see a bunch of drivers can stay out. This changes potentially everything, because now we are going to be leading the way for an overtime restart, because we don't have to pit because of the extra fuel in the car. So all of a sudden we have a chance here in overtime to get our first win on the season here, as Chase Elliott all the way down in 12th place. I didn't realize he was actually behind us, but now he's lining up on the row behind us, so that's actually going to be a huge problem because we know how fast his car is. The 2 cars on the front row have a lot of damage. I didn't know if my car was going to take off or not. Thankfully, surprisingly, it does, and it does as well for the 84. So I know for a fact that if anybody stayed out right there, they're going to be close on field. So that might be an advantage to us. Maybe if the 84 runs out in front of the 9 car, we can hold on here, but it's going to be very tough to still win this race nonetheless as we lead the way down the back straightaway here. A lap and a half to go in the Coca-Cola 600. Gilliland has lost his chance to get his first career win here in heartbreaking fashion. Now as Elliott's going to go to the top, and I have absolutely nothing. He blows my doors right off. Here comes Kyle Larson up the inside. We have nothing for those guys now as we come through down the front straightaway. My guess is they took 4 tires, and that's why they were so far behind us. But white flag in the air, down into turns 1, and Elliott leads the way as he's looking for his first win on the season. I have nothing for the 2 or the 17 of Christopher Bell as we go down this back straightaway. Behind us, 84 of Busher is running out of field. He's going to hold up a bunch of drivers on the outside, including Lewis Hamilton as well as Bubba Wallace, and that helps us because now we're going to be able to cruise through turn 3 and out of turn 4, and Chase Elliott comes through to get his first win on the season, and we come through to still finish inside the top 5. So nonetheless, we still ended up gaining a few extra positions compared to where we were going to finish without that caution. But heartbreak for Todd Gilliland, who was looking at his first career win in a matter of seconds if he just could have gotten to that white flag, but instead he doesn't even finish in the top 10 as he ends up P13 as you see the rest of the finishing order. What a finish here. In Charlotte, it looked like Gilliland was going to get his first win. Not going to happen. It looks like I might have a chance to get our first win of the season with the Roush LeBron Racing team. Well, that didn't happen either. Chase Elliott just completely blew our doors right off and just blew by me and went on to win his first race on the season. There you see the playoff grid. Joey Logano's out by 17. Bell and Reddick both are continuing to close in on the playoffs. So hopefully we can find a way to get both of our Roush LeBron Racing teammates inside the playoffs. In the next episode, it's just a Cup Series race once again, and that will be at Bristol Motor Speedway. You can see that's race number 19 already. We're closing in to the final 6-7 races here of the regular season. So as always, if you guys enjoyed, you know what to do. I'd like to thank you all for taking the time out of your day to watch this episode, and I will see you guys all in the next one at Bristol, which hopefully is going to be a very exciting race and hopefully our best shot to win this season. Before we end it, just want to say thank you to the Go On Racing members of MJ, Joseph 9001, Timothy Arline, Hayes Gaming, Brett Durward, Dark Gengar Gaming, AJ Vasur, Russell Dixon, Kenneth Barnett, Dana 9302, Speed Demon 341, Ellis Emery, as well as Jay Fitz. I appreciate you guys' support so much, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a great day, everybody.